We're in New York.
Oh, it's not a picture?
Guess who's in New York? We're in Manhattan right now. To figure out how to get to this hotel. So let's see what antics we're gonna be up to for the rest of the day. Bye. I'm gonna try out this vegan spot. So stay tuned. I'll go in and we'll try something. Guys, okay, so this is the first meal that I'm having in New York, and I want you to take a look at this with me. Oh my goodness. I went all out. I only had fruits since this morning, since like 8:30. So this is gonna be the next meal for the day. It's about 2 o'clock right now. So this is like my lunch slash dinner. It's gonna be my only meal for the day, but looks like it's gonna be so worth it. So here I got the tomato soup, guac burger. See how that one goes. And then this is their mac and cheese. And I also decided to get a little dessert and get a cookies.
Mommy took a bus trip, now she got a bus out. Everybody ride her, just like a bus route.
So we are now in the NBC studios at an underground situation. I'm not really a huge fan of the Jimmy Fallon show or anything like that. I actually came in here to like find the washroom. And then there's like a vegan spot that I want to try right next door, vegan ice cream. But today's been pretty good so far. Like we've done a lot of like, I guess, what you would do on a walking tour. So except for Central Park, but we've walked through Times Square already, and me and my two friends that I came with, I just walked through the Rockefeller Center, stopped at a couple stores, the usual like Urban Outfitters, Zara's. I personally don't really shop there because I'm trying to be more mindful about, you know, the clothes that I'm buying and ditching fast fashion and make sure that the clothes that I wear is more sustainable. So, but tomorrow for my birthday, the plan is to go for a brunch near Greenwich Village, and then there's like a couple thrift stores down that side of Manhattan. So looking forward to that. Oh, the lighting is really good here. Okay guys, so far it's been like pretty good first day. Like everything was, you know, really spontaneous. We didn't have much planned after touching down, so I'm just really happy everything worked out. I found a really good vegan spot. The walking tour so far has just been wonderful, and the people here are pretty friendly so far from what I've seen at like just service counters and desk and restaurants, food spots that I've been at. So yeah, it's nice. It feels very much like Toronto, but like times 10 in a way, especially when you're walking through Times Square. Like Yonge and Dundas has nothing on Times Square, like 1,000 more lights. But yeah, it's just I'm just really happy to finally be here, cross off New York on my bucket list, and spend my birthday in like one of the most popular, or if not the most popular city in the freaking world. So I'm gonna show you guys the vegan spot, the vegan ice cream spot, see if I like it. And then I think I'm gonna wrap that up for day one, and then we'll see what happens my birthday tomorrow, day 2. Hi guys!
Hey!
So we're off to Wild for breakfast this morning. Cheers to friends! birthday. Woo.
Oh, we should take a selfie in front of the wall.
I'll go. Try both because I don't know. Okay, I know. I was.
Just a nice stroll down New York with my friends. Hello. So we're on day 3 of New York City, and this morning I got up again and did some yoga, my meditation, my journaling. It don't stop just because I'm in a new city. Sometimes if I'm on a more relaxing vacation, I'll kind of skip the like the yoga or any intense exercise and just sort of journal and meditate to start my day. Yesterday was my birthday, and yesterday was amazing. It was a really fun birthday. It was a good balance of like touristy attractions and a little bit of just strolling, walking around the city, and just kind of allowing spontaneity to lead the day. We started off with brunch at Wild. It's a gluten-free restaurant. That's really important to me. I'm totally gluten-free as well as dairy-free, so I'm really happy that I can be in a city that also has a lot of options. And the food was amazing there. Usually the taste isn't how it would usually be. Like the pasta has a little bit less flavor, the texture is a bit different, but this one you could not tell. Like they were able to mask it so well. And I got like this pesto dish, which was really nice. Everybody else also enjoyed their food, which is a plus, right? I never want to be with people and like someone doesn't like their food or their meal. And then it kind of just ruins the experience, right? And oh my God, dessert. I hope I took a video of the dessert because that was, and to know that it was dairy-free and gluten-free and it tasted that good, I just want to like ship that back with me to Toronto. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Wild was amazing. He even brought out like a bottle of Prosecco to surprise me, my friends. I don't drink, but like I was happy that everybody else got to. It was just really nice. And then we went for a little stroll. My friend Molly, who's also one of my clients, she lives in New York, so I invited her out to my brunch/lunch, and so happy that she was able to come. And so, of course, this is her city, so she showed us around the area. I wanted to visit like this thrift store. I think we were like in Chelsea, and we stopped at this amazing thrift store called Beacons. I had asked on the first day when I got to New York, we were walking through like an Alo, or was it Aritzia? One of those stores, and I was asking one of the ladies that work there what kind of cool thrift stores I should visit in New York, and that was one of them. So I knew that Beacons was gonna be in the area where we were gonna have like my birthday breakfast. So many cool items. I ended up getting like this cute, adorable little purse, oh my God, and a little fridge magnet that doesn't say New York City. Like I feel like those kind of souvenirs are a little bit tacky, but I usually do like to get fridge magnets. But this one is a fridge magnet with Grace Jones on it, and it says Stay Fierce, and I thought it was just like the cutest thing ever to have. So yeah, and then we ended off the day with a Broadway show. So we ended up going to see Take Me Out, which is a Broadway show about a gay baseball player starring Jesse Williams and Jesse Tyler Ferguson, whom I love both of them so much. I remember watching Grey's Anatomy, of course, and Jesse Williams was on that, and then Jesse Tyler Ferguson from Modern Family. That was my show. Oh my gosh, I'm like bent on doing like a whole season, watching all the seasons again, because it's just so nostalgic. It's one of my favorite comedy shows of like all time, next to Bob's Burgers. So cool to see them like live in person. This was like one of my first theater shows I like to say it was my first theater show because the first one I went to was Mamma Mia with my parents when I was younger, and I don't remember much. So this like is my first real life like adult experience watching a Broadway show, and so I'm probably gonna remember it more. And yeah, it was just, I think it was such a nice choice. One of my friends is like a really big baseball fan, so I think she could like relate to a lot of the things that they talked about. But whether you like baseball or not, like it was just a really, really good show. and there was a lot of nudity. I don't know if I can say the D word, but there was a lot of that, and I'm not gonna complain. Not gonna complain at all. Anyways, so yeah, today I am gonna be working. So I'm gonna be working out of probably my hotel room, maybe somewhere down here. So I'll find somewhere to work today and maybe go on a date. I downloaded some dating apps prior to coming to New York, so your girl needs love in her life. We'll see if New York makes some magic happen, okay? But other than that, stay tuned. We still have like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna be doing some of the big stuff in New York. So I'll show you a bit of that. And I don't know, which one is it? What does it say? We passed it? It's right here. Now we're on our way to the Brooklyn Bridge. Guys, so I just got off the train and we are about to walk the Brooklyn Bridge. This one I'm gonna do by my own. My friends already got to go on Thursday, but I was doing some work, so finally got the opportunity to come out here. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an update in the meantime. New York has been so fun, so fun. It's quite similar to Toronto, but I find there's like more light, especially at nighttime. There's way more people. I am not crying, by the way. It's just like the window here, my eyes are super sensitive. The Thursday I worked, but I went on a date in the evening to a restaurant called Spice. It was like Thai food. That was pretty good. And then Friday I got a bit more time to go back outside and do some more touristy stuff. So we did the Empire Building in the morning. It was a nice experience. Like, it wasn't just heading into an elevator and walking straight up. They had like an interactive experience on the second floor before actually going up to the 80th floor. When you get to the 80th floor, there's no observatory stands on that floor, but you could see like pretty much all of New York except for the north side of New York. So when you get to the 86th floor now, that is where you can see the north side, and you can see Central Park. Oh my god, we were able to see Statue of Liberty, which now I feel like I don't really have to take the ferry and go to, because I was just able to see it from the building. And honestly, it's actually pretty small. I thought it would be bigger. I guess maybe because I'm looking at it from like a bird's eye view and not getting up close to it, but it looked pretty small from what I saw. And we also saw, like, I believe it was a stadium, not Yankee Stadium. Yeah, we just saw some other structures. Don't really know what the importance of them were, but it was just a really nice view. And I'm excited because today we're going to be doing Edge. So I think it may be somewhat of a similar view. So I'm really excited for that. Last night I also actually went on a little date. And so I went back into like Union Square and went to this kitchen called Urban Vegan. So yeah, the last 2 nights I've had free meals, but that's not why I went. Really got to meet some amazing people from New York, and whether it turns out to be anything or not, they could just be really good friends. I feel like the people of New York are just super friendly. Once you kind of like open yourself up to them, they are willing to, you know, stretch out a helping hand or just give you information that you need or help you, especially with like directions and stuff. Everyone's just super nice. Even like the homeless people who you feel like may not be in the right sense of mind actually are, in a kind of ironic way. But yeah, I'm just super excited. I believe the Brooklyn Bridge is gonna be like at least a half an hour walk. I don't think I have to rush it. But yeah, I'll show you guys some views. And tonight's also Saturday, so you already know Saturday night we gotta turn up. So I'll show you guys what all that looks like too. Yeah, lemon and all of it.
Hop in her, throw up the sex in her. And I can put you in. I can put you in. Hop in her, throw up the sex in her. And I can put you in. I can see the whole city from this balcony. Keep dreaming. Pineapple juice, I give a sweet. I know what they like, so I just keep seizing. Hard drive full of EC. Trying to come the same day as Jack rethinking. You don't need Givenchy, you need Jesus. Why do y'all sleep on me? I need reasons. I got Plex in the mail peak season. Shout out to my UPS workers, making sure I receive it. You could do it so
The same thing. And
It's following us. I know, right? We are at the famous Apollo. Alright, well, I am now finally back from New York City. Okay, I've been back for almost like a month or so now, and it's just taken me a while to get to this point where I can do a little overview video of my time in New York. So I was at the Brooklyn Bridge. After walking the Brooklyn Bridge, I ended up in the Brooklyn side of New York City, went to a little Trader Joe's, walked around for a bit. I've always like heard of Trader Joe's in the States, but never been to one. We have Whole Foods here in Toronto, so I think that's like the closest thing. It was kind of like built into like this bigger mall, and there were like a couple like underground bars and cafes. I had called my friends, we were supposed to meet up at the Edge. So that was my next location. I caught the subway, got to the Edge, and the view was amazing. We tried to time it for like sunset, but that day was super cloudy. The weather was not optimal, and so we didn't really get the sunset that we wanted. But nevertheless, it was great to have a different view of New York City. It was just nice to have different perspectives. The Edge gave us a view of the Empire Building at that height, which was pretty cool. And we just hung out there for a bit. It was super cold during our trip in New York. Probably not as cold as Toronto when we left it. And we decided to stop at this like sushi restaurant inside the complex. It's called Hudson Yards. So we went to Kamasu Sushi. And oh my gosh, Kamasu Sushi was so good. This was actually the first time I got to try sashimi, which is like the raw fish. Like I usually don't have the raw fish part of sushi. It's just the maki or whatever, California rolls, fake crab meat, avocado, whatever. But this one had raw fish and it was really interesting. I feel like I'm gonna be traveling a lot this year, so just trying different foods is really important to me, despite me technically supposed to be eating more plant-based. But yeah, it was a really nice experience. The food, I've never tasted like sushi that was that fresh. It was so fresh. They make it right in front of you. I had the miso, the raw sushi, and I think something else. I shared like an appetizer with my friend, and it wasn't too overpriced. So anyways, if you're ever at Hudson Yards or you go to check out the Edge in New York, definitely if you're feeling for like Japanese, Chinese food, definitely try Kamasu. After the Edge, we headed back to the hotel and we were kind of just like hanging out there. I decided to get ready to go to the Williamsburg Hotel. It's an accommodation where people stay, but it's also like a nightclub. It turns into a club at night. People can host parties and things like that. And so I had met a DJ on his dating app called Thursday. So we were planning to do like a one-on-one kind of like date, but we never got to do it. But I was like, you know what? It's Saturday night. I'm in New York City. I'll come check it out. Whatever, as long as I don't have to pay, like, I'm there. It was an EDM night and like event. Not really my jam. Like, I like EDM, but like I wouldn't really go to a club and like listen to it all night. So it was kind of different, but I ended up just like making some friends there, just talking to people. You know, I made the best out of the situation. That was Saturday. It was pretty good. Sunday, we pretty much just ended off going to the Met. We actually didn't get to go inside the Met, but that was our first tourist attraction that we wanted to go to on the Sunday. Tour passes that we had, we thought it came with a Met pass and it didn't. We never ended up doing the Met, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I feel like we spent a lot of time at the MoMA, the Modern Metropolitan, I don't even know how to say it, whatever, the MoMA. So it was fun. We got to see an art gallery while we were in New York. We went to this like spaghetti restaurant, I don't know, the best spaghetti and meatballs in New York or something like that. I also stopped at like a gluten-free bakery. I can't remember the name right now, but it was so good. I think I got the scone and like a muffin. That was my breakfast that morning because the hotel that we stayed at didn't really have things that I could eat. So really hard traveling and being gluten-free, but you know, I make it work. And it's just so fortunate that we're in a city like New York where it's very diverse and people are gonna cater to those with alternative diets. So yeah, and then we ended up walking through Central Park. Didn't walk the whole thing, we just like cut across from the Met to the subway station on the other side to catch it to go to Harlem because we wanted to check out the Apollo Theater. We were walking down past the Apollo Theater. We noticed on the sign that Drake was performing, or he had performed the night before, which was kind of funny because it's like, Drake, why are you following us? And then we decided to go to like Graffiti Alley, which is kind of heading back into Manhattan. And it started to rain. So we were kind of like, you know what, this is probably the end of our trip. It's coming to an end. We just wanted to get back to the hotel. So that's eventually what we did. We passed by like this huge Black Lives Matter mural. I think that's where the head office is actually too, but like the museum part of it wasn't open. And then we head back to the hotel and we ordered beatnik instead, which was like my favorite vegan restaurant while I was out there. So I wanted my friend to try it. So we just ordered like a bunch of stuff. Uber had like buy one burger, get another one free, ordered a bunch of apps. Like it was amazing. I feasted out on the Sunday, and it was a great way to end off our trip. Super glad that I got to experience my birthday in New York. Overall, would say New York is fun. It's like any kind of major city. I felt like it sort of felt like I was in Toronto. The only difference was, of course, there was way more people and way more lights. Way more activity, hustle and bustle. But if I didn't see any sign that told me it was New York, I would think I was in Toronto. So I kind of like that. It didn't feel too uncomfortable for me. I was really able to adapt to the environment. Eventually I started walking around Manhattan like I knew where I was going by the end of the trip, so felt really good about that. Would definitely next time like to spend more time in other boroughs. So the bulk of our time was spent in Manhattan. I only spent a little bit of time in Brooklyn once I crossed the Brooklyn Bridge. So next time I'd love to spend more time in like Brooklyn, Queens, Hamptons, Long Island, you know, check out some of these other boroughs in New York. You know, save it. Like, you can't do it all. You can't do it all in one trip, so I'll just save it for the next time. So yeah, thanks so much for following me on this trip to New York for my birthday. My next trip is gonna be Mexico. I'm leaving in 2 weeks, so definitely gonna wanna stay tuned for when that vlog video comes out. Don't forget, if you really enjoyed this, to like or subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.